All right, Chapter 12, Little Charlie, May 30th, 1861. 3 days later, when Lieutenant Jessup came to fetch Callie from school, she knew there was trouble. He brought her to her parents, who were at the army hospital. Little Charlie had gotten sick all over again. This time, it was worse than before, and there was a new army doctor caring for him. Mama Ruth said she liked the first doctor who tended to little Charlie. The new doctor, Dr. Stewart, said little Charlie never really got completely well. He said little Charlie needed to stay in the fort's army hospital where he could watch him closely. Mama would stay the night with him. Dr. Stewart said the family could do nothing else but wait and watch. There is no sense in saying, if you had brought him to me sooner, the doctor said. We'll just see what we can do for him and see how he gets through the night. Callie knew Dr. Stewart thought it was comforting, but it was not. It made Mama cry even harder. Little Charlie made it through the night, but Dr. Stewart said he did not know how many more nights. The next day was Friday. It rained all day. Little Charlie just could not make it through another night. Callie was glad for the rain. Many of the people who traveled here in search of freedom have died since arriving at the fortress. When the chaplain came to see little Charlie, he said nice words and prayers over his body. Papa held on to Mama and Callie. She was on one side. Mama was on the other side. What happened to little Charlie?
Died.
Because of what he died from, he would have to be buried very quickly. Disease in this heat can spread very rapidly, Dr. Stewart said. Callie looked at little Charlie on the hospital bed. It seemed he was too little for the bed. He lay so still. She felt sad and sorry for him. Yeah, but that's okay. I don't think so. I think he went down to the gym. He lay so still. She felt sad and sorry for him. It wasn't the kind of sadness she felt for Joseph. This was different. Little Charlie's body wasn't strong enough to get well, and he was with his family, and his family did everything they could.
They tried to find a cure for little Charlie, but nope.
No cure.
He got sick from a disease or an illness.
Yep. She cried for little Charlie because he never had the chance to get big. He never had the chance to go to school to learn. Callie wanted to hug him one last time, but Dr. Stewart said not to. He did not want her to catch what Charlie had. At least he died free, Callie told Papa, and he did not have to grow up and be made to feel flat like you say you feel sometimes, the way I feel sometimes. He never has to worry about being sold away from us like Joseph. I know his little soul is going to heaven and not to the other place. Papa listened quietly. Callie was glad that little Charlie was spared of the bad things life can bring, but that did not make her happy. She never got the chance to tell him that his name meant Army Warrior. She felt she had to do something. She didn't know what it was, but she had to think of something more than just cry. That was all she wanted to do. While Mama was getting little Charlie ready, Callie went back to get something out of her bundle. Papa was digging a little hole in the back of the fort. This didn't seem right to Callie either. Papa had him all wrapped in his old blanket when Mama had him wrapped in his own blanket when Papa came to get him. Callie was heartbroken to see her little brother this way. He was always just a little jolly fellow before that awful sickness came upon him. Wait, Mama, Callie whispered through her tears. She removed the blue calico cloth from the paper brown package she held behind her back and handed it to Mama. Wrap little Charlie up in this, Callie said, sniffling. It is better than his rough-feeling blanket. And he liked the color blue as much as I did. Callie hesitated. She was holding something else behind her back. Put my little corn husk doll with him too, Mama, so he won't feel alone without us. Mama took the doll and the fabric, and they both cried. Mama wrapped little Charlie in the beautiful little blue flowered cloth, and she put the corn husk doll near his heart. It was the only way Callie knew to say goodbye to her little brother. Later that night, after the rain had stopped, Callie went out to stand at little Charlie's grave. The sky was clear, and the big wide moon shone down. Her stars twinkled overhead. She pretended little Charlie was right there with her. Callie thought she could almost feel his little hand inside of hers. She looked down at the mound of earth that held him and talked to him. She pointed up to the sky. See my stars up there inside the Big Dipper? She told little Charlie. That is the brave huntress who was turned into a bear. She was free to roam the heavens. Callista is her name. She spoke to Charlie with what was inside of her heart, even though she wanted to say everything, even though what she wanted to say was so hard. Do you see those stars right next to mine? She asked, still pointing. I am naming those stars for you. They will be called Charles, because a brave huntress might need help from an army warrior sometime. And then she told little Charlie what Papa told her. You'll never be lost from me. You'll never be lost from Papa or Mama or Joseph. You'll never be lost from us in the world, she said. Then it felt as if little Charlie wasn't holding her hand anymore, as if he let her hand go. But she stayed standing there for a little while longer, just looking up at their stars. All right. So we read.
That was tragic.
That was a very sad chapter. I almost cried like 3 times reading that chapter.
You almost did?
Yeah, it was sad. All right, so I'll make this a little bit bigger. You guys have yours opened, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so part of the text which you're referring to, so we have to pick a quote. What's one quote from this chapter that you guys might want to write?
Save that star and name them after you, Charles.
I like that. Let's save that for the third quote that we're going to do. We'll do that one at the end. How about in chapter 105 where it says, or on page 105, where it says, how about we'll just see what we can do for him now and see how he gets through the night. Oops, sorry, am I typing?
I think little Charlie. I think little Charlie was. I think he got. Maybe got sick. Maybe his throat was maybe dry. Maybe had a dry cough or had a little cold. I think he had a.
Well, was the medicine very good back then? Is the medicine like it is today? No, so people really could just die from getting a cold if it wouldn't go away because they could get really sick.
I think little Charlie actually got into medicine and he got sick from medicine.
Oops, sorry. And that was page 105. All right.
Man, not a good chapter to read with.
Really sad. All right, how'd you guys do with that? So what does this mean? Who's saying this?
They can't stand.
So who is saying this to Mama Ruth? We'll just see what we can do for him now and see how he gets through the night.
Doctor.
Okay. The doctor is not hopeful that little Charlie will live, he is still very sick and he does end up what? What does he end up?
Dying,
yeah. All right, so that's what we got for that. That was really important in this chapter. That's basically what the whole chapter is about, right? Is essentially that little Charlie dies, and it was actually pretty sad. Okay, I'm recording right now and we're finishing an activity. I do think you have to, you have a quiz or a test that you just have to take for science, okay? Yeah. You just have to go through and click the Google form, bud. I don't have any more. All right, how do you guys feel? Did you guys get that one?
How about the second quote? It was like, here, take this book off. He likes it a little more than I do.
I do like that one. I think that one's pretty good. Oh, what about the part where it says like at least he died free? And then we'll do your calico cloth one.
For the over. What was the one we said before?
Oh, the stars.
What? Oh, yeah.
Page, I think that was 107. No, 106. Page 106. Who is saying this?
Callie?
Callie tells Papa this because their family is now free at Fort Monroe. Right? How'd you guys do that? Did you get that?
Oh,
How'd you
come
do, Pam?
on.
What is
I'm
that?
gonna let my phone's ringing. I'm gonna let it go.
All right. When you're done typing, why don't you just put it on mute, though? Okay.
It's decline.
And then just mute it, bud, so it doesn't ring in class, right?
All right, I'm gonna mute it. I'm gonna shut it down.
Okay. Good idea. All right. How'd you guys do with that one? Pretty good.
Mine was off that bad, but
Come on, it's fun. Come on.
I had to fix it because AT&T shut off my do not disturb. That's all I have to do. It's done because they said,
All right, Robert. What was the quote that you thought?
see my stars. I'm gonna name them after you, Charles.
Do not
because-
disturb.
I forgot the other word.
See my stairs up there inside the Big Dipper?
No calls and
I'm naming
notifications.
them after.
Oh,
you.
do you see those stars right next to mine? Those one that
I
quote.
put do not disturb is on.
But I'm
Good.
gonna name them after you, Charles.
Do you see those stars right next to mine? There's a comma right here. I am naming those stars for you. Do you see that, Cameron, or do you need me to move it up? And that's on page
Right.
107 to 108.
Should we put the name for you, Charles?
For you, I'll put ... Charles ...
Yeah.
All right. Callie is at, where is she when she says this?
At night.
Yep.
Little Charlie's
At the
grave.
grave. She was at the grave.
At Charlie's grave. She is saying how he will never be alone and his family will always be with him. Right? That should be will. There you go.
Ah, man. So much typing.
That is a lot, but we're just going to stop there. Kids at home, when you watch this video, you can finish the DEDs. We're going to do 3. And those are the ones that you can do. You're going to have to type these into your own. So make sure you do that, and then continue reading. You should be on chapter, I think, 15 today. We have to finish the book next week. Chapters up to 12 and 13 are posted. I'm going to be recording today at least 3 more chapters and posting them, if not the whole book. Please make sure you are up to date. We do have a big project on this book.